Well, how do we differentiate which product to offer, to use, and so on? So how do you communicate it to the customer?
So the more, I would say, what used to be the DC team and what used to be the Varex team interact and spend time with customers, we actually also find out ourselves step by step how I would say the two different product lines best fit different purposes, right? So I think maybe one way I always like to look at is sort of looking at it in reverse. Where does it absolutely not make sense to use one product, correct? And for example, if you do need a live image 15, 20, 30 frames per second, that absolutely needs to be, say, 40 by 40 centimeters, at least at the moment, you cannot use a direct conversion detector, right? So that, for example, would be a very obvious one end of the scale to frame the problem. Another way to look at it, perhaps, where can you not use a flat panel? So if you need 5,000 frames per second, unless you bin it down to 1 pixel, or you restrict your area to an extremely small area, you cannot use a flat panel. The amorphous silicon technology is simply not fast enough, and even the state-of-the-art CMOS detectors can't do it. So you do need a direct converting detector, not only to get the frame rate, but to get the efficiency you need to not only have noise at 1 millisecond per frame or less. So ultra fast is definitely a direct conversion domain. Fast and very large is definitely a flat panel domain, and perhaps everything in between, there are gray areas, which maybe one is better, one's not. I think what is fantastic about working with Varex as a customer, you can tap into dozens of years of experience of people who are experts at the one or the other technology and now are becoming experts at both. So we feel we can understand a customer's problem very well if the customer offers insight into their issues and try to solve it with the best possible product. So we don't have the mission, we sell as many flat panels as possible, or we sell as many DC detectors as possible. We have the mission to give our customer exactly the right product so he can move the needle forward. And I think we're very well positioned to do that. We have I think you will agree, Hendric, right? The interaction between the teams is very, very good.
For sure.
And in fact, we often now see it that we go visit customers together. To optimally solve the problem.
One item that we haven't talked about, but which is where DC detectors are capable of, is dual energy. So with one pass, we can basically capture 2 energy levels of the material to help discriminating different materials. You see that a lot in material separation. Recycling is a huge market, and also growing.
As one of the things we work on in Varex right now heavily is the CST, the cone beam software tools, which one of the fillet pieces is the scatter correction and the beam hardening correction. And as we improve that, we really see jumps in CT reconstruction quality. But just thinking out loud here, having that built into the detector combined with the software, again here, you just see the potential we can tap into, right? We're just scratching the surface. Now you give us a new type of data we can use, and boy, it just gets that much better, right?
So the future is the smart detector with add-ons.
Yep.
Not just the raw image, but with processing.
Indeed.
And so on, which then the customer doesn't have to take care of, because this is tricky and needs a lot of resources. Yeah.
The know-how, how it works in depth, the detail, and again, do you use this material or that material? How does it scatter, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah. I think in summary, one can say this is going to be a very interesting ride. And again, we've got a couple of great teams coming together with the intent of moving the needle forward for the industry and moving the needle forward for our customers so they can solve the problems they have today, but also the ones that are coming in the future, and hopefully crack into some new markets that will show them real growth and being able to do more and more.
Absolutely.